Hello, welcome to Tuning In. I'm your host, Robert Moyer, and tonight I think we have an extremely interesting way of approaching the holiday coming up. As you know, the 14th on Saturday is Valentine's Day, and we all talk about the subject of love. Well, usually it's on the romantic level. Well, we'd like to take this a little further and deeper and look at the concept of agape. And that is, according to the dictionary, if you don't know, God's love for man, or the spontaneous or altruistic love. Well, it goes even farther than that, and our guest tonight is going to explain some of the ways that we can involve ourselves in community love. With me to my left is Mr. Randolph Simmons, who is the president of We Agape Incorporate.
We Agape You.
Tell us about that, will you? All right, first of all, before we do that, explain further the word agape.
Well, agape is Greek for Christ-like love. And what it is that our organization, we want to be able to show agape love for anybody and everybody without any discrimination for whatever their situation may be. And so that's what we do. We go about, we seek out people who need help, and we just show love, Christ.
I know when we got involved with it, your organization has grown and evolved. So it isn't just the homeless. Explain a little bit about that.
Well, originally we set out just to help anybody who would need help with feeding and so forth. And then we started seeing that just feeding people in tents, feeding people who are homeless, was putting a Band-Aid on the real problem. The real problem is housing. With Reading having an epidemic of abandoned houses and an epidemic of homelessness, go figure. We spent days and nights with these people who were out there so we could totally understand what they're going through. We seen things that blew our minds, like, for instance, with all the food that they have, and especially and particularly in this country, it's an abundance of food. You have these organizations giving out millions of dollars worth of food, tents, toiletries, and right now we're at an all-time high for homelessness, so it doesn't add up, Bob. So we had to revise and evolve our organization to whereas we're housing first. With that being said, we can take people and have them in a house and have professionals treat their bipolar, their PTSD, whatever their mental health condition is, and then begin to show them through work how to be self-sufficient. Not so much just comfortable in a tent or comfortable in the woods. Like I told you, there's a guy named Lloyd who's over 400 pounds in a tent, and all he does is eat. People think because you give someone food that you solved a solution, and it's not. They need food, people out in the streets, like you need a hole in the head. They don't need food. Right. They need to be housed with professionals and working. So they take
and
care
you operate solely on donations, correct?
Absolutely.
Which I think is quite
We don't pursue any of the funding from none of the other agencies or grants or anything like that. It's just God's people and God's money. If you really look at and wanted to know the truth of it all, it matters. It's all bounced down to money. You know, that's what it all boils down to, because homelessness is something that if you look at housing first in other, like Allentown, like Scranton, like Utah, like Los Angeles, you'll see that they don't have the epidemic that we have here in Berks County. What they've been doing here does not work, is not working, and just feeding people and making them comfortable in the woods is not how you get rid of homelessness. No. You have to bring them indoors to treat a person. And I just want to give you a little something to think about, a little humor. Imagine if you took all the clothes out your closet and put them on your body and went out at 8 o'clock at night in your yard, and you kept them clothes on until the next day, and I came to you with a sandwich. What do you think you would want, a sandwich or to go indoors?
Go indoors.
Thank you. That's why it's about housing first, not feeding someone. So Allentown has I believe it's a 1 year or 2 year to get rid of homelessness. And this is a government program. This is what I don't understand. It's a government program called Housing First. And what it is, it's a successful program, already proven successful. And I don't understand why it is that organizations and people here can look to Allentown and see that city's build up. Look at Lancaster, how beautiful that is. Look at Allentown, how beautiful that is. You don't see tent cities there, but here, because of the money and because of all the millions of dollars of funding they get, they don't really want to eradicate homelessness, or else you wouldn't see 2 abandoned houses on every corner.
Yeah, that's true. That's
So
true.
when you really look at it and you really want to get honest about it, you want to get rid of homelessness. The money that they receive, take 1% of that money for housing, and you watch how fast this city, these eyesores disappear. People start working. The community gets better where you can walk from one end of the town to the next end of the town. Right now, we have a number of houses that was donated to us that we're in rehab to fix them up, to put people in the houses. They're already volunteering with the city, and some guys are already self-sufficient, working for themselves. Now, you have other agencies, they have different philosophies, so I can't speak on that. But Housing First has a proven government successful program.
But what you're saying too is then you're, how do I say this without it sounding too calculating? It's controlling the environment more so that you can guide them in a better direction. Is that?
Yes, because I mean, let's face it, if you're living out in sub-zero temperatures, if you for years have been living like this, there are some issues. There's some mental health issues, you know, and the only way to get to that is to bring someone indoors. What I found out from spending the night in Tent City with these guys was they resent you coming bringing them sandwiches. They resent you for the simple fact that, you know, you come bring them a sandwich, you come up in your cars, you're in heat, they know you're going home, and you bring them a sandwich. These guys truly want somewhere to go. But because you say, oh, we tried to get them treatment, so then you label them. They don't want help. I have a 2.5-year-old son at home. I try to get him to stop throwing food, Bob, right? You know what I mean? And I talk to him and I say, son, don't throw that food. He throws it anyway across the table. You know what I mean? And it's been going on for weeks and weeks. And I say, well, do I give up on my son? No. So why have you given up on guys who may have been in treatment? These guys may have been tried before. You never know when they had enough. So this is why you have to really be careful what you say about them publicly. This is why you need to take a professional in, because if I had cancer, I wouldn't want you bringing a plumber in to operate on me. You understand? So they take people out here to feed people, and they don't have the proper skills to be able to be effective with these homeless people. So then they say, oh, he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. I compare that to my 2-year-old son. We're all through Berks County. It doesn't matter where people need help. Like I said, we're called We Agape You. We go wherever there's a need, and we minister to people about Jesus Christ. We minister to people whatever their need may be. And that's our only requirement. Whatever the need is, we'll be there.
What do you need?
Well, what we need is more communications amongst ourselves, to the fact that whereas keeping it real simple, if you look at what you need in life, it has to be housing. It doesn't need more sandwiches and cookies and living as such. People need information and understandings how to be self-sufficient.
Is money, the, you know, donations
Absolutely.
monetarily?
Well, the way we operate is on solely donations. And what it is that we need monetary donations for building supplies. We are a member of the food bank. They do a wonderful job of giving us all kinds of food to feed, but we need monetary donations to be able to rehab these houses that we have, to be able to put people in there. And so that's what it is.
Recently, I've seen a number of articles in the newspaper as well as on the internet regarding the homeless, and no, they're not just there wanting more money for booze and drugs. Some of them aren't really. Some of them have taken the money that have been given to them and have actually gone out and buy groceries and so forth for others like themselves. So it's a terrible generalization to do that. But I agree with Randy here that we do need to find a more controlled situation and a housing situation, a place where they can feel safe, secure, and find the help they need instead of feeling totally helpless.
Absolutely. You know, and I just want to say this real quick because sometimes I get so caught up in this because I'm so passionate about it. Had it not been for my wife and my children, none of this would have came into existence. Also, had it not been for my mentor, my dad, my friend, Pastor Wayne Ritzmiller from Calvary Bible Fellowship Church and the entire Calvary Church, because I was homeless. I went through these things, and they taught me. They showed me how to work. They showed me how to go about using spiritual principles. And even today, they still teach me. They still work with me. They still guide me. So Pastor Wayne Ritzmiller and my wife and family and a number of other churches and agencies, had it not been for them, we wouldn't be here right now.
No. Randy, I thank you so much for stopping in and explaining the situation, explaining what We Agape You Incorporate is all about, and also expanding the concept of community love. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well.
Many blessings to you.
Thank you.
And I wish you success with the whole program.
Thank you.
Let's help him with that. I think that would be a great show of community love on your part. Do have a wonderful, wonderful month, and may God bless.